Hello guys. Today I'm going to be expressing my opinions on the second Hobbit movie, which I went and saw with a number of my friends, and I'm very thankful that they took me to see it. Um, for starters, it was good. It was really good, and there are a number of great things I want to bring up, but I really wish it would have stayed more accurate to the books. I do think that I like the first one better, and it's just, you know, I don't know, I kind of like the first one better. I wish it would have stayed, again, just, when they don't follow the books, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of upsetting, it's like it's not the real story, but, anyways, for starters, let's talk about some of the things I liked. Some of the things I really liked were like those little references or like Easter eggs to the Lord of the Rings that they hid in there in like different places. Like there was a number of them that were just somehow similar. Like you could pick up on the energy. Like one example would be um when they're at the beginning when they're in the prancing pony, and you could see like you could see like a picture or like the short glance of like the black cat, and you saw like that guy sitting in the corner wearing a hood. He was sort of like Aragorn, and that was quite similar to the Lord of the Rings and the Prancing Pony, which I like that reference a lot. Um, there were other references like when Gandalf fought Sauron in this one. It was just like when he fought Saruman in the other one, because how like the Force knocked him back against the wall, and he had like the scars on his face, and he got like imprisoned. It was very similar that way, because he did have to leave, and although that isn't described in the book, it is in the book. Gandalf did fight Sauron in the Hobbit. I think Saruman as well as Radagast were there. What else do I think? Again, the effects and everything was really great, fantastic. Just like before, just like last time. Again, some more Easter eggs. Oh yeah, that's right. The other Easter eggs would be when what's his name got hit by the arrow, and it was slowly killing him, and like the elf had to like heal him with her medicine or whatever. It was literally like, it was just like when Frodo was stabbed with the Morgul blade, and she even used the same like elvish words like me no me no me, and it was very similar. So that was one aspect I liked, was like the little hidden Easter eggs, and I'm pretty sure there are more, but I'd have to watch it again and take note in order to see it. Very good, very good in that case. What else? As far as accuracy to the book, a few things. A, they never crossed like that weird Death River or whatever. I think I remember something like that in The Hobbit while they're in the forest, and that was like one of their struggles. They had to cross that river, so that wasn't in there. I do believe they were captured by the elves. However, the fight with the spiders was totally different, because Bilbo, I mean, he did kill a lot of them. They did fight the spiders, but he actually pelted them with rocks at one point, because he was a good stone thrower, and that was never portrayed as is happening in the movie. I don't think he ever threw a rock, maybe one, at the spiders. They did get out and ride the barrels. That is how they escaped. Oh yeah, when they got out of the barrels, I don't think they had Bard smuggle them in. I think that when they got out of the barrels, that they were just in there the whole time, and then Bilbo took them out, and one of them, I remember specifically saying that he could not, or he was so hungry he could eat anything but apples, because it smelled like apples in his barrel, and he was sick of the scent. So, yeah, that's one sort of inaccuracy. Another inaccuracy was that, let's what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, Bard did not shoot at Smaug with a ballista or like a mounted like turret crossbow. He actually shot at Smaug with a hand bow, like a handheld bow. And it wasn't that Smaug could only be killed by a black arrow. It's that the arrow he killed Smaug with happened to be a black arrow, and it was like good luck for him, and he had like never missed with it or something like that. So yeah, those are a few of the differences. As far as the whole killing Smaug with the ballista goes, though, I honestly think it makes a lot more sense that way. Because, I mean, if you can shoot a bear with just a regular arrow and it not die, I mean, how are you gonna kill a dragon with, like, a normal arrow? You know, that's definitely one thing that, you know, I feel makes sense, you know. You know, big, huge dragon killed with a little arrow. And then, what else? Oh yeah, the going into the cave. That's where they totally messed it up, was going to Smaug's cave. Because originally it was just Bilbo who went at first. He did put on the ring. And he did talk to Smaug, and Smaug made his gloat. Which is another thing that disappointed me, because Smaug, when he said all those things like my claws are like spears, my teeth are like knives, my scales are like shields, my wings are like a hurricane, and my breath death. He said all of them at once, and he breathed fire, and Bilbo had to quickly run out of the cave. But in the movie, they didn't all happen at once, and he didn't finish with my breath death. Or I think he might have, it wasn't the same though. And that was also, you know, kind of disappointing. And then Bilbo, like, after he got out of the cave, like, I remember there were several times he went in the cave. One of the times they stole the cup. And that's what made Smaug so angry. He came out and attacked the village, because dragons supposedly had like a super good memory and remembered everything. And so once he noticed the cup was gone, he was pissed off. And that's another thing that they left out of the Hobbit in the movie. What else did they leave out? They left out, oh yeah, Bilbo, when Smaug was gone to defeat the dragon, that's actually when he found the Arkenstone and took it back, and he kept it a secret for a while. He didn't tell anyone. So that was a huge inaccuracy. What else should have happened? I think, yeah, I think that's all for the accuracies. Oh yeah, wait, one more. I think Smaug in the book, his scales were actually plated in gold. I could be wrong, but it's been a while. But he never had gold poured on him, molten gold, and he never, what's the word I'm looking for? I think he never shook them off. I think he wore them the whole time as like his armor. And then there was that one gap that he was able to be killed with. What else? Yeah, that's right. I guess that's all for the inaccuracies. Now some of the disappointers. I'd say probably the biggest disappointing thing in the movie would have been, the Silmaril, or the Arkenstone as it's called. Should have been way bigger. You mean it wasn't even the biggest diamond in there. You mean it glowed, it radiated light, but it wasn't the biggest diamond at all. Like, you mean, and it was just buried under the gold. Like, it wasn't even in a substantial area. Like, you'd think Smaug would want to, like, keep that in a place where he knew it was, you know, but I don't know, I guess not, but, some fact about the Arkenstone, or the Silmarils, which is its kind, is that Morgoth, who is like the god of evil, or like the devil of Middle-earth, when he stole the Silmarils, he actually put them on his crown, and he was the size of a tower. So these diamonds should have been at least the size of Bilbo's head, probably even bigger. Well, I don't know if they'd be that much bigger, because he did hide it in this cloak, so probably at least about this big. somewhat, instead of just being like this big, like able to fit into your hand, because they're crafted by, I think, the Fëanor, I think they're called, like the High Elf, something like that. And they did radiate light, but here's the thing, they were the greatest, but there are other less great. And so when Morgoth took out like the two trees which gave light to Middle-earth, he fed several of the precious gems to a huge ugly spider named Ungoliant, who had the ability to weave light into darkness. And when she ate the lesser gems, she became really strong, but he refused to give her the Silmarils, which is why she bound him in like evil spiderweb stuff of darkness. So, I mean, yeah, the Silmarils, big disappointment. They should have been a lot bigger. Let's think about Smaug himself. Honestly, with games like Skyrim and stuff, I don't know if you know this, but there are two different kinds of, like, mostly known European dragons. There's the Wyrm, which is your stereotypical European dragon that has 6 limbs, 4 legs, and 2 wings. And then there's the Wyvern, which has 2 legs, and its front legs are connected to its wings. And that's what kind of dragon Smaug was. And honestly, like, I think that's cool, but you mean, with Skyrim and all that, I think people are going to forget what dragons traditionally look like, and I think it is way cooler when they do have 6 limbs, because you mean, like, when he's walking around, like, on his wings, sort of crawling like that, I think it kind of looks ridiculous. Like, when a dragon can sit up with its chest out, holding its wings out, that's something that makes dragons somewhat look majestic. And it was actually mentioned, I think the Hobbit, not specifically that he had 6 limbs, but the fact that he did stand and show his broad chest. Because, I think that was supposed to be like the arrogant thing, like dragons had a soft underbody, but he wanted to show, hey look, I've got tough armor all over my torso. There's no way you can hurt me, So that's definitely, one thing I would have liked. I did really like, however, when he breathed fire, like, you could see, like, his neck and his, like, chest light up. That was really cool. Yeah. And then, one last knock on, like, the plot outline itself. The fact that they all went into his house, it sort of annoyed me. It was almost more comical. Like, I can understand it's meant to be more of, like, a kid's thing than the Lord of the Rings itself was, but it was really comical. Like, it was almost like, ha, we just poured gold on you, we're pulling a prank, ha, we're doing this, we're doing that, and I don't know, it kind of made Smaug just look like a grumpy old man, and like, the hobbits were just like some kid, or the dwarves were just some kids playing a prank. And it also makes it then so that in the next one, when Smaug dies, which the ending was terrible, because you absolutely know what's going to happen, so that now when Smaug gets killed, how are they going to make that a big dramatic death? You're taking, like, a character you kind of made out to be, like, comical and funny, and you're going to try and give him some sort of an epic death, And that's what I liked about the first Hobbit, was that it was comical, but at the same time, it was, like, it was serious, it was epic, What's another thing? I'm almost out of time. I like the arrow to the knee reference in that. You should see it. One of the dwarfs takes an arrow to the knee. But other than that, I think that's about it. I think a lot of these inaccuracies and problems just due to the fact that they're trying to stretch 3 movies out of 1 book, and I love that, but at the same time, it's not as true to the book. It's not the same, so I hope you all enjoyed the movie. I certainly did, despite the inaccuracies. It was still a great movie, and thanks for watching. Auf Wiedersehen.